Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Bill Pescosolido, and this is another episode of Real Talk with Bill and Michelle Pescosolido. And I'm happy to be here with you today on this beautiful, lovely Friday afternoon. So today I'm going to just dive right into what we're going to talk about, and then stick around until the end of this Facebook Live, and I'm going to share with you a cool way that we can help you with your business. But today specifically, I'm going to talk about 7 qualities or 7 traits that mentally strong people have. And if you're wondering why that's important, in order to succeed in business, you've got to be mentally strong. So as you're coming out onto this Facebook Live, I want you to absolutely just say hello. I can give you a shout out and let me know where you're watching this from. Pedro is on the call. What is up, Pedro? And like I said, just, we like to keep these fun. We like to keep these informal. Definitely want to keep these very informative for you. We always want you to get value from these Real Talk with Bill and Michelle episodes. But we also like to keep them fun. I mean, heck, it's Friday afternoon, at least where we are, it's Friday afternoon. It's a Facebook Live, which is always a little more informal than, let's say, a video. And, Michelle's not here today. And, hey, we got Dimitri on. What's up, Dimitri? Michelle actually is right now at the airport. She's flying down to Galveston with one of our daughters for a dance event. So I'm going to be running the show today, but we got a lot of people coming on. We've got Lucia. What's up, Lucia? We've got Bennett coming on from Malaysia. What is up? Lots of cool, okay, good stuff. Lots of people coming on here. So again, as you come, oh wow, it's Saturday where Bennett is, which is just blows my mind. It's Friday here, it's Saturday there. Bennett, tell us, what is it like in the future? Are you watching this Facebook Live from your flying car right now? That's what I want to know. So yeah, again, come on out, join the party. Let's have some fun here. It is Friday, and I want to talk about 7 things that mentally strong people have. Now, I'm assuming a couple things. First of all, I assume that you want to build your business, which is why you're here, or you're trying to build a business of some kind. And I also assume that you have some mentally strong traits. Maybe you have all 7 of these traits. Maybe you have a handful of these traits. But obviously, these 7 things I'm going to talk about are what successful people have and what is required to be successful in business. So let's just dive in. And also, we got so many people coming on. This is so cool. So the number one trait that mentally strong people have is emotional intelligence. Now, if you're not familiar with the term emotional intelligence, it's kind of like IQ, like your intellectual quotient or whatever IQ stands for. I guess my IQ is not very high. I don't even know what IQ stands for. But emotional intelligence is what they call EQ. So you've got IQ, which you either have a high IQ or you don't. Right, you're born with a high IQ or you're not. Or you just wherever your environment you grew up, who knows. But you either have, your IQ. Hey Taz, I'm doing a Facebook Live, buddy. You gotta simmer down. We got the dog in the back freaking out. Your IQ is not to be confused with EQ, right? Emotional intelligence is how you act in the face of adversity. All right. So, for example, I'm on this Facebook Live right now. My dog's in the background freaking out for no apparent reason. He's just old and confused. And I could freak out right now as well, but I'm choosing not to. Right. So, and I swear I didn't even plan that to happen. It's just he's 12 and he hears noises and he freaks out. And he's probably going to freak out again. You probably will hear him here in a minute. But your EQ, your emotional intelligence is your ability to handle adversity when it comes your way. Now, obviously, we're all going to face adversity of some kind at some point. Maybe you're facing adversity on a daily basis. Maybe you face adversity throughout the day at work or just in your daily life. And your emotional intelligence is how you handle the adversity when it's thrown at you. Basically, it's testing your mental toughness. So are you able to look at the adversity, and instead of freaking out and getting upset and yelling at people, or getting all flustered and bothered where you just can't deal with that situation, you can't deal with that problem, emotional intelligence is basically you recognizing, okay, I am in the midst of adversity right now. I am being thrown a massive curveball right now. This is something that is taxing me and my mental ability. However, I still need to take this for what it is and overcome this. All right. So again, emotional intelligence, and the great thing about emotional intelligence, unlike your IQ, your IQ, you can't necessarily get a better IQ. You can't just say, oh, I'm going to read another book or try harder or whatever, and all of a sudden just become, just raise your IQ. However, your EQ, your emotional intelligence, you can work on that. You absolutely can improve your EQ, your emotional intelligence, over and over, day after day, week after week, month after month. It's absolutely something that you can work on and focus on and get better. So, and this is important because the next thing that mentally tough people have, number 2, this feeds right into it, and that is embracing change. Now, a lot of times, and hey, Richard's here, and we got a lot of people that have hopped on here, by the way. So again, come on out, if join the party. Let me know where you're watching this from. Let me know if it's hot or cold or warm where you are, and I'm going to keep firing through this this Real Talk episode. My wife, Michelle, is just reported she's stuck on the tarmac, so she's here watching. Hey, Michelle, what's up? I hope you guys are enjoying being stuck on the tarmac. I hope that you're employing your emotional intelligence and not getting upset at the stewardesses or at the pilots for being stuck on the tarmac. Now, embracing change. All right, another thing that mentally tough people have, and this is kind of where emotional intelligence feeds into this next one. So I have a nice little segue here for you. And that is embracing change. Mentally tough people embrace change. They know that there's a few constants in life, right? Death, taxes, and change, right? The only thing that you can probably predict that's going to happen more than anything else is that things will change. The comp plan in your company will change. The business structure will change. Products might change. Leaders might come and go. There'll be change there. Organizational structure might change. There could be all these different changes within your business, your opportunity, maybe a technology platform that you are using and you've gotten used to, and you're so accustomed to it, and you feel like you're in a groove, and all of a sudden they change something, and you log in the next day, and now everything's different, and you're like, Look, things are going to change, but mentally tough people recognize that, they embrace that, and they roll with the changes. And now here's the great thing, and here's the great thing about being an entrepreneur. And if you're an entrepreneur and you're watching this right now, this will speak true to you. Change is an opportunity, because what entrepreneurs really are people who recognize where there's a problem, and we find a solution to that problem. And then that solution is either a product or an offer or whatever, and we can, monetize that solution, but it's all about finding a problem. Mentally tough people and good entrepreneurs will embrace the change, because sometimes that change creates a problem for certain people. And if you can be the one to provide a solution to that problem, well, boom, you now have a product, you now have an offer, you now have an income that you can monetize that and make money off of that problem, if, of course, you provide a solution. So if that makes sense, so far, number 1 and number 2, we got number 1, emotional intelligence, as far as mentally tough people have. Number 2, we have embracing change, and those kind of go together. Now, if sort of what I just explained there, if that makes sense to you, drop the number 1 in the comments section below. Just drop a 1, like literally just type on your keypad the number 1. Excuse me, if that makes sense. And if you can see yourself maybe working on your emotional intelligence, or if you could see yourself being open to embracing change in a better way here in the future, again, drop a number 1. And look, Michelle, she dropped the number 1. Nice, Michelle. I hope you learn to embrace being emotionally intelligent. And I can say these things right now because Michelle's not next to me like she normally is. She's on a plane. She can't whack me in the arm right now. So I can say whatever I want, pretty much, actually. And she can't do a darn thing about it. So, hi, honey. Okay, so we got some ones coming through. Nice. Pedro, Maria, Samra, Richard, Charlie, Jan. Hey, Jan Fansler's in the hizzo. Dimitri's in the hizzo. Nice. Got a lot of ones coming over. Cool, cool, cool. Awesome. Okay. Number 3, the third thing, mentally tough people. Mentally tough people say no. Right now, this might sound weird. Again, as business people, as business builders, as entrepreneurs, the common thought is that, oh, well, we're very open to things. We're progressive, we're open to opportunity, we're open to, this, we're open to that, right? And by being open to new stuff and doing new things and trying new things out and so forth, that kind of implies that we're always saying yes. The reality is you've got to learn how to say no. Mentally tough people know how to say no. They have no problem with saying no, right? And because the more you say yes to people, the more you will probably spread yourself too thin, right? In fact, there was a study, and I got to consult my notes here. There's a study at University of California, San Francisco, and the research showed that the more difficulty you have in saying no to people, the more stress you will have in your life. Now think about that for a second. And just, does that make sense to you, first of all? It makes complete sense to me. But think about that. If you have a hard time saying no to people, and I'm talking not even just in the business world, just talking about in life, maybe a hard time saying no to friends, hard time saying no to family members, hard time saying no to a neighbor who's constantly asking if they can, borrow another cup of sugar or whatever. If you have a hard time saying no to these people, that's going to lead to build up and adding to more and more and more stress. Right? So if you can't even say no to little things, what happens when it's a big thing? What happens when you're in the middle of projects and someone asks you to do something and you're like, you have a hard time saying no? It's going to add to your stress. It's going to lead to spreading you too thin, disjointing your focus, spreading you all over the map. And that obviously leads to a lack of productivity, a lack of, success, a lack of everything. So here's what I want you to do to be a mentally stronger person and to get better at saying no is avoid phrases like, I don't think I can, or I'm not certain if I can, or I'm not sure, when people are asking you for something. Instead, just say with confidence and conviction, I'm sorry, but I can't. I wish I could, but I can't. No. And it will feel empowering. It'll be one of the best things probably that you've ever done in a long time, just saying no to someone. And let's see, Dimitri says, you're one of the handful of people that live in the US that pronounces my name correctly. Hey, awesome. That's good to know. Michelle says, like when you offer me wine and I can't say no. Yes, exactly. Like that. You should learn to say no. But so here's the thing. Here's the takeaway on saying no. When you say no to new commitments, new people ask you for new favors, new commitments, new whatever. When you say no to them, think about it this way. This is huge. It's honoring your existing commitments. Okay? Now, if that makes sense, type yes below, right? When you say no to taking on new commitments, new things, new hobbies, new whatever, it's not like a bad negative thing towards that new person. What you're really doing is you're honoring your existing commitments that you have already committed to. Now, how good would that feel? So instead of thinking to yourself, oh man, I had to say no to this guy, I felt so bad. No. You didn't say no to him. What you did is you continue to say yes to things that are already in the works. Okay? And that's going to lead you to staying on track, remaining focused, and being more productive, getting more things done, and obviously building a more successful business. So, numero tres, mentally tough people say no. Now, if that makes sense, and if you now want to say no more often to people, type a 3 in the comments section below. I want to see some 3s here. I'm flipping through my notepad. I got notes. I got to admit it. It's a Facebook Live. I'm not perfect. I don't have the memory of an elephant. I have to use notes sometimes. Ain't no shame in that. Okay, So again, type of 3 if you want to see yourself saying no. Now you might be saying to yourself, Bill, no, I'm not going to type a 3. You just taught me how to say no. Now I'm going to say no. No, I'm not going to type a 3. Fine. If you want to be that way already, maybe you could start saying no after the Facebook Live is done. I don't know, I'm just going to throw that out there. Don't say no yet. Wait until after we're done and then start saying no to everyone. But don't start yet, right? Okay. So good. I got some 3s coming over. Obviously, this is good stuff. Nice. So the 4th thing, that's 3. The 4th thing, number 4. Mentally tough people, they know that fear is the number 1 source of regret. All right. Fear is the number 1 source of regrets. And you don't have to comment if you don't want to. If you do comment, that'd be great. But have you ever let fear get in the way of something that you thought might be really good or would advance your business or would be, build your brand or something? But you let fear get in the way and then later on you regretted it, right? Has that ever happened? Like, have you ever let fear get in your way and then later on you regretted it? Maybe you're afraid of doing a Facebook Live like this one. Maybe you're afraid of writing a blog post. Maybe you're afraid of taking over your list and emailing your list. Maybe you're afraid of doing that first video. Maybe you're afraid of calling your leads, picking up the phone and calling leads. Who knows what it could be? Maybe you're fear of technology, right? But have you ever let that fear get in the way, stop you in your tracks, and then later on, a week, a month, a year, who knows, you've regretted it? Mentally tough people aren't afraid to take risks because what they know is way worse than fear is living every single day, dying a little bit each and every day with that pain of regret just like tugging at you constantly. Sometimes you'll hear people say, well, like, oh, what's the worst thing that can happen? It's not going to kill you, right? Talking about, overcoming a fear, like, oh, what's the worst thing? It won't kill you. You won't die from that. Well, true. You won't die from doing that Facebook Live, or you won't die from creating that product that you've always thought you should create or whatever. But what's worse than that, because when you die, you're dead, right? What's worse is living your life, feeling, kind of dying a little bit each day because you have all that regret built up because that thing that held you back was a little bit of fear of the uncertain, of the unknown. And that's now what's led to these years and decades of just like regret building that you have to live with. Death kind of sounds easy when you look at it as opposed to living a life full of pain and regret, right? And I don't want to get into a whole death thing here. I mean, that's kind of a morbid topic, but I mean, does that make sense at least? You see what I'm saying? So mentally tough people, they aren't going to let that fear get in the way because fear, I mean, it literally is just a state of mind. It's just a state of mind. It's just a temporary condition that can easily be overcome. And I've got Samra saying no regrets. I've got Jan saying regret is the worst bed partner. I like that. That's a great one. Samra says so true. Maria says yes, then guilt. I got a lot of people agreeing to that. So again, the worst thing you can do is not take the risk or not take the chance, right? Because think about, again, the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, or the next maybe decades of your life having to live with the whole, like, what if? What if I had? How would things been different, right? Why not just dive in and do it and see what happens? And that kind of leads me to number 5, numero 5, cinco, which is mentally strong people embrace fear, right? So again, kind of a segue from number 4, fear is the number 1 source of regret, to number 5, that mentally strong people embrace fear, right? They don't let fear hold them hostage to things that they know they should do. And I don't want you to be held hostage for things that you know you should do. I'll just give you a minuscule example. Michelle and I, we do these Facebook Live, these Real Talk with Bill and Michelle episodes every Friday. Last Friday we missed because we were traveling. Sorry everybody. But there's this platform, this technology platform that we use called Be Live that we're using right now and that we have been using to actually do the Facebook Lives, right? It's just a little bit better than just using Facebook, I guess. I don't know. But it's like this whole other thing, this whole like software system. And Michelle always handles that stuff. She always handles that stuff. I just show up, I just look amazing and sound great and do all this stuff. And then she does actually like the tech, like setting it up and whatever. I don't know how to do it. I just don't. I don't know how to do it. So today, leading up to this Facebook Live right now, because I'd never actually, started it or set it up or done all this stuff, I was a little petrified because I was like, what if I screw this up? What if I press the wrong button? Right? What if I screw it up and as a result, I come on late? I'm 5 or 10 minutes late on this call and you're all sitting here waiting like, where the heck is Bill? Or what if I do something, I press the wrong button or I can't figure it out. It's so bad that I can't even do the Facebook Live, like from a technology standpoint. Like I just crashed it and then there's no Facebook Live. And so for the 45 minutes to an hour leading up to when we started here, I was extremely nervous and extremely fearful. I was wondering I was thinking all possible things that might go wrong that I could possibly do to screw this whole thing up. But because I'd committed to this, obviously I emailed the list, we had promoted it, I had to show up. I ended up just doing it anyway. And guess what, folks? I'm here. I didn't actually screw anything up. I actually pressed the right button and not the wrong button. And I started on time and we're here cruising along and everything's going great, right? However, I could have let that fear paralyze me. I could have let that fear I could have let it say like, you know what? We'll just not do the Facebook Live today. Michelle, you're flying. I can't do technology. So let's just not do the Facebook Live. I could have done that. And then I wouldn't be here right now with you having this great conversation, right? But I didn't do that, right? I didn't let that fear get in the way. Now, again, this is maybe a small example compared to some other possible examples out there. But it's a real example that I just dealt with, right? So don't let the little fearful things bog you down with the whole, what if this happens and what if that happens? Because the reality is, there's a very good chance none of those things will happen. There's a better chance that none of those negative things will happen. There's a better chance that positive things will happen than any of the negative things that you're thinking in your brain. These are all just hypothetical scenarios that we conjure up in our brains to shield ourselves and protect ourselves from possible letdown or failure or embarrassment or whatever you want to call it. But this potential failure, this potential embarrassment, this potential letting you all down today, there's no certainty that any of that would happen. So why would I let that prevent me from just taking a little bit of a leap and trying something new and figuring out the technology? And look at us now having this great conversation. Here we are. And there was no gaffes, there was no mess ups, there was no tech failures, no gremlins have snuck in yet, at least, and ruined this Facebook Live. Everything is smooth, sailing along smoothly until, again, one of the dogs, probably chime in and, freak out at the mailman or whatever. But so mentally strong people, and I'm totally just rambling here. Mentally strong people, they embrace failure. They know that failure is an opportunity to improve. Failure is an opportunity to get better. Failure is an opportunity to see what works and what doesn't work, right? Maybe you've got an offer that you're not sure if the market's going to like it or not. Throw it out there and test it and see, right? And if the market doesn't respond well to your offer, it's not failure. It's that you've got to go back to the drawing board and come up with something better. You've realized what doesn't work. And the faster you can realize what doesn't work, the faster you can fail, the faster you can then get towards finding what does work and creating that offer or having that product or doing the right things at the right time for the right people. And that's how you can build your business in a very fast, strong, massive way. So if that makes sense, type a 5. Type the number 5 below. And if you've ever either experienced failure and it kind of got you down, or if you want to start embracing failure here in the near future, type a 5 as well. All right. So if you look at yourself seriously, starting today, starting this weekend, starting next week, starting whenever you want, to start embracing failure and realize that it's not nearly as bad as you think. It's actually an opportunity to get better. And you can see yourself doing that. I want you to type a 5 in the comment section below. And I want you to high five me. I literally are virtual high fiving right now because you are a champ. You're a stud. You're a stud-ette. And I want you to no longer be afraid of stuff. It's seriously just all up here in the head. So, number 6, again, a nice little segue. And by the way, if you guys are digging this at all, if you like, I'm flying solo here without Michelle, my normal co-pilot Michelle. But if you are liking this at all, maybe click the like button, click a heart, say something, I don't know, just click one of those little things, and that'll be really cool. Also, if there's someone that you think might benefit from this training as well, you can tag them here in the comment section below. Just tag them in the comment section below. Just write them and say, hey, Susie Q or Jimmy Bob, you might want to check this out. Okay, now let's move on to number 6. Numero 6. Siete. Mentally strong people don't dwell on mistakes. All right? Mentally strong people don't dwell on mistakes. So look, we're all going to make mistakes. I've probably already made several mistakes just in the last 30 minutes. I know actually I did make a mistake. I didn't know how to write like a title or description for this Facebook Live. And I was going to add a link in it as well for some training at the end. And I didn't know how to do that. So I did make a mistake after all. I did kind of screw things up a little bit. Now, you might not have known that had I not mentioned it, so I probably should have mentioned it, but I did, because I want to be honest with you. This is, after all, real talk with Bill and Michelle, not we're so fancy talk with Bill and Michelle. Real talk. We get real. We get down and dirty in the trenches, real with you. So don't dwell on your mistakes. I'm not going to dwell on that mistake, right? I'm not going to dwell on the fact that I didn't write a title to Facebook Live. I'm not going to dwell on the fact that I didn't have a good description for this Facebook Live. I'm not going to dwell on the fact that I don't have a link to training that I wanted to provide you, which somehow we'll provide it to maybe, I don't know how, whatever, figure it out. But I'm not going to dwell on that. The reason why is if you sit here and dwell on your mistakes, it's going to build and build and build, and it's going to probably prevent you from trying new things in the future, right? So if you sit here and think about all your mistakes in the past, instead of just embracing them like, look, I made a mistake, big freaking deal, right? I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. We all make mistakes, right? If you don't dwell on your mistakes, or I'm sorry, if you do dwell on your mistakes, it's going to build and build within you. And it's going to prevent you from trying new things in the future. Because instead of thinking about the possibilities that could happen with this new thing, instead of thinking about how you might have a ton of success trying this new thing, instead of thinking about how this other thing might be really amazing and awesome, it'll work out great, instead, you're thinking about the mistakes of the past. And when you sit here and dwell on the mistakes of the past, it kind of encapsulates you in this little shell of like protectiveness that you won't ever want to leave. Like you'll be stuck in this shell of protectiveness, like this little bubble. Like you'll be the boy in the bubble. And it won't ever allow you to experience or try new things that could be really, really amazing, right? So wash those mistakes away. Like literally just go in the shower and like cleanse the mistakes away. Forget about them. Don't dwell on them. They've happened. Big deal. And here's the deal. I guarantee any mistake you've made, someone out there has made a mistake 100 times bigger or worse than you have, right? So adding a little perspective to your mistakes, which whatever, our mistakes are mistakes, right? We're human. We make them. Lots of people have made way bigger, way far worse mistakes than yours. So who cares, right? Who cares? Number 7, right? We're going to end on this one right here. We're going to end on number 7. And, oh, hey, Michelle, by the way, says she'll provide a link because she's awesome. Way to go, Michelle. Number 7, mentally strong people are relentlessly positive, all right? Mentally strong people are relentlessly positive. And what do I mean by that? Well, first of all, you watch the news. If you watch the news, I watch the news sometimes, but you watch the news. There's, companies going out of business. There are civil wars around the world. There are, maybe, Trump got elected and you hated that, or maybe Trump got elected and you loved it. Who knows? Maybe there's, political things going on that are, making, negative stuff, or, your sports team lost, whatever. I mean, you can watch the news. Literally, the news is like this cesspool of negativity. It really is. As sad as it's true. but it's true. It's sad as it is to say, it's true. If you watch the news, it's like this cesspool of negativity. It's like all the news companies decided to let's just all just go wallow in a quagmire of negativity, and then we'll just throw crap for people to watch. It's like negative crap. We'll just throw this negative crap out there all the time, just like mud, negative mud, right? Because it is now, and you could let that get you down. You could let that get you down. You could be like, oh my God, Bosnia-Herzegovina is in civil war again. Croatia's got a crisis going on, or, there's a hurricane, somewhere. I mean, there's always going to be negative stuff that you could allow to bring you down if you chose to. However, mentally strong people, mentally tough people are relentlessly positive. They don't let that bring them down. Now, I'm not saying put blinders on. If someone says, hey, there's a hurricane, you're like, no, there isn't. I'm not saying to deny what's going on. Or someone says, hey, Trump was elected president and you're a Democrat. Like, no, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. Like, that's not what I'm saying. And by the way, this is not a political thing. I'm neither pro-Trump or anti-Trump or Republican or Democrat on this Facebook Live, right? This is a politics-free Facebook Live. I'm just giving an example that we can all understand. You can't deny the fact that things are going on the world. However, you can choose to let it affect you or not. And mentally tough people don't let it affect them. Why? Because mentally tough people choose to focus on things that they can control. I can't control weather phenomenons. I can't control wars going on somewhere. I can't control what's happening in the Middle East. I can't control, I guess by my votes, I could control who's president or politics, whatever, but you can't control them. What happened? There's so many things that are out of our control. What mentally strong people do, positive people do, is they focus on the two most important things that they can control, right? Your attention and your effort. Now, if you want to get focused and buckle down and remove all sorts of garbage out of your head and ignore the strife in the world and the starvation and the politics and the war and the hurricanes and the tsunamis, and focus on your attention and your efforts and what you choose to pay attention to and what you choose to focus your effort on. And if you pay attention to, say, more positive things, like maybe educating yourself, maybe on business or marketing or whatever for your business, if you then choose to focus your efforts on taking action on those things, like, hey, I learned this thing yesterday, now I'm gonna actually take action and do it today to build my business, you will be a mentally stronger person in the end because you're focusing on the things that you can control, what you choose to pay attention to, and what you choose to focus your effort on. And if you can just drill down, ignore the noise around you, and just focus on your attention and your effort, you'll be a mentally stronger person. You'll be a happier person. You'll be a more positive person, a relentlessly positive person, and you will build a successful business if, of course, you're focusing on the right things. So that's it for today. So if that made sense, if you liked any of those following 7 points, these 7 7 attributes that all mentally strong people have to build their business, then click on the like button right now. Click on the heart button. Feel free to share this on your fan page. Tag someone else who you think might benefit from this. And lastly, type the number 1, going back to our roots, type the number 1 in the comment section below if you got some value from this, if you found this mildly interesting or entertaining, if you could see yourself becoming or implementing any of these mentally tough attributes for yourself in your life, in your business, what have you. Type a number 1 below right now in the comments section. And let's see. Michelle says, start your day out doing something positive to attract positive energy. That's a great point. Negative thoughts attract negative energy. That's also incredible. And I see some 1s coming across. Nice. Awesome. You guys are awesome. This is fun. This is so much fun. So this is what we do, obviously. So every Friday. So first of all, I want to let you know, come back here next Friday because Michelle and I will be here again. Michelle and I will be here. I'll be here again. Michelle and I will be here. I just totally lost my train of thought. It's incredible. I'm literally losing my train of thought in the middle of this Facebook Live right in front of your faces. Like you are literally watching someone lose their train of thought, having no idea what they want to say next, and it's live. But I'm going to embrace that because I'm mentally tough. So what was it? Embrace failure. Don't dwell on my mistakes. I got to go through my notes again so I know how to handle the situation. So no, first of all, mark your calendars. We'll be here again next week, same time, 4 o'clock Eastern time, 3 o'clock Central time, right here doing another Facebook Live, a Real Talk with Bill and Michelle episode. And then if you want help building your business, if you kind of like us a little bit, or if you like what we do, if you like our training, if you resonate with us even in the slightest moderate way whatsoever, and you think that we might be able to help you build your business, then we've got something cool for you. It's going to be a link in here somewhere. It's our Inner Circle membership. It's called the Power Players Club. I strongly encourage you to check it out. If you're trying to build your business online right now, and if you think that mentorship is something that could help you out, and if you're tired of going it alone, then the Power Players Club is meant for you. So there will, at some point, if not already, there will be in the near future the link that I forgot to put in there because I made a mistake that I'm not going to dwell on. But there'll be a link to check out the Power Players Club, which again, I strongly encourage you to do. And you can join the ranks of many, many, many other entrepreneurs, business builders, just like you, who are benefiting from our mentorship, our coaching, our training on a weekly basis. So I hope you liked this Facebook Live. I hope you got some value. Definitely check out the link above or below somewhere for the Power Players Club. And we will see you next week. And this is Bill Pescosolido, and this is Real Talk with Bill and Michelle. Bye, guys. We'll see you next time. Later.